What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I haven't officially introduced you to my father-in-law Dana, but he's also a part of this channel. He kind of started 514 Garage, and I just kind of started the YouTube to show some of the projects. But he's working on a project right now that I think is probably the coolest thing we got going on right now, and one of the most unique. And we really wanted to show you. He's already been working on it on and off for the past couple years. He hasn't been doing too much on it lately, but we're starting to pick it back up, and we want to do a full series on this vehicle from now on. So I'm gonna turn it around and let him take it over, kind of how it got to this point, and then what the plans are from here on out.
Hey everybody, this is a project I started on a couple years ago. It's a 64 Willys cab. I've always been a Mopar guy, and we found this truck, and it was a big block 440 Dodge Power Wagon, 78 model. It had some problems, the body did, and so had a friend of mine. He said, I got this cab, and it was rough, but it was buildable. And so I said, you know what? I said, I'm gonna build me a Willys truck on a Dodge Power Wagon frame and running gear. The truck has set a long time, but we took the body off. I decided, you know, these Willys trucks, the cab kind of set way forward on it, and I didn't like that. And I said, I want to slide it back, slide the cab back, shorten the bed up, and just, you know, kind of build a different stance to it than just, you know, everyday Willys. Found these tires. A friend of mine listed them on a local marketplace, and they're used. And but I said, you know, that'd be good to set it up and get the stance and everything I wanted to do. And so what I done, I moved the motor, the transmission, transfer case, of course, you know, I moved all that back 12 inches. And I decided I wanted to put a full cage on it because I had some DOM tubing that had been sitting around from years ago that I hadn't ever used. And so I said, you know what, you know, let's do this thing. So I started building this full cage. It ain't nothing high dollar on this. It's a low buck build. I'm not gonna know high technology, nothing. Everything's just gonna be a simple, straightforward build. And I decided I wanted all my shocks to be one part number. One shock fits every corner. And this is a shock mount. It kind of goes back to the old round tracking days and the type of shock mount we used to have. And of course, you know, I moved the motor back, so I had to, you know, build the motor mounts. And believe it or not, the bolt holes for the transfer case and the transmission mounts, man, them things, there was nothing to just to drill them. But I'm hacking the Jeep. What was good about the Jeep front end, I wanted to keep the, you know, the grill in it, but it's not where it's supposed to be mounted to the hood. But I'm just kind of building, you know, leaving it looking like a Jeep. I had to extend the hood 6 inches, and I said, I'm just gonna do that, you know, with metal, and it turned out good. I was proud of it. But I found these work lights. They're old Army work lights that run off a generator. They was 110, they had a 7-inch bulb, and I'm retrofitting them, cleaning them up, and I just thought they was cool. They got a little dome right there, and there's one in the cab that I'm putting a halo light in, but of course you can see the oven's off. And so I started building the bumpers and the front, and I want to keep everything light. I didn't want this massive, heavy bumper system on the truck. I kind of want to keep it light. I think it'll help it perform better, you know. So I built these bumpers, and I got inspired. Kawasaki's got a bumper. It's got these inserts kind of in it, and a little side-by-side Kawasaki that I have. So I built these inserts, and of course, you know, the bumper, you know, we may paint them black and paint these the color of the truck, these little inserts. I had this bumper way out here, and everybody's like, no, we just don't like that. So I cut this bumper off. But I may build some kind of little skid pan, a skid plate or something for the front later. But basically, I decided, I said, you know what? I said, you know, there is no rules on the street, and I think it'd still be all right. But this whole cage and cab bolts on, and it's several places it bolts on. It bolts on here, it bolts on there, and of course this comes out, and I got that come out. Well, I got bigger heim joints coming for that, but they look a little dangy. And I needed more leg room, so I built I built like a foot box for it. A lot of people extend these cabs, you know, they put a little section right here, but I didn't want to do that. I got some little cool forklift seats. They go right here. They low back, and the floorboard was gone in the truck. So you know what? I said, I don't want this thing jacked up, just sitting on top of the frame. I want it to be down over the frame. I didn't want it high. Yeah, you know, ground clearance, that's cool and everything, but man, this thing's gonna be more of a street truck. I ain't gonna mud bog it, I don't think. But what I've done, I tied this cab back together, and like I said, getting back, it's been a couple of years since I've been on it, and this kind of hazed over on me, but I'll get to that in a minute. But this is a piece of 2x3 tubing. This is a split piece of 2x3 tubing, and it's gonna look to mimic that old body line that the Willys truck had. Of course, there was rust right there. I got to replace that. I got the door bars, but the cage is going to be welded. The cage is welded to the cab, and it all bolts on the frame. So I'll be able to lift this off, and you know, get the frame ready and set it all back on. The bars and everything will come off with the cab. There's going to be places right in here that I'm going to tie. I'm going to tie it into the cab. And this is a piece of 2x3 tubing. It's got a 1x1 square tubing framework under the seats, and this is just 20 gauge steel, but you know, that's all you need really. I had to build the brake pedal system, and the master cylinder is going to mount underneath. Well, you know, Willys' truck had a glove compartment right here, and the column was down here. It really put it at a bad angle, so I built me a steering column out of muffler tubing and some bearings, and built that mount, and I closed up the glove compartment with a heavy piece of like, I don't know, 16 gauge steel. So that kind of, you know, sturdied that all up. And like I said, keeping the truck simple, you know, I didn't go digital. That's just old gauges that I had. I built this panel, and it goes in a quarter turn faster. You pop it out, you can get to the back of your panel. And I'm probably going to build something like that on the other side to get to the ignition box and stuff like that. But the console, it's an ammo can. I built this part right here and tied it into the ammo can. And if y'all ain't noticed by now, I have a dye dimpler. My wife bought it for me for Christmas, so I've just been punching holes and everything. And this right here was rusted out, so I got in here and built them two panels in there. And kind of incorporate the dimple dye in the whole system. I done the hood, and I'm gonna leave these fasteners exposed, and I'm probably gonna put the windshield in with like a band with them fasteners. And I don't know what kind of theme that would be, but you know. But here's my seat belt mounts. They're tied into this 2x3 tubing, and of course it's gonna have a shoulder mount harness. And it gets pretty. It's a tight cab, but I got me up another 4 inches down there of leg room, and it sits real good now. And I'm 6'1", 6 foot nothing. And but the bed, it's a work in progress. It's 20 gauge steel, and I dimple dyed it and built it, and then run a little bead around it, you know. But I'm probably gonna put some, you know, some little extensions right here to kind of cover up some of that. But they're not by no means where they're going. They just mocked up for today. But I'm gonna do a video later of how I rolled these right here. I rolled them, and man, we was proud of that. And it's just simple stuff you can buy at Lowe's. But I rolled them and put it on the brake and broke it. And I kind of wanted the bed up higher. I didn't want the cab. I wanted the cab to look more chopped. And I closed up the window. I know everybody likes that big window, but this one was in such rough shape around that edge. It was terrible. So and to get enough head room, I had to let the tubing come out the top. But I'm gonna build another roof for it. That and the Willys truck, that's one of the things I never liked about that big old bubble roof on it. And I'm gonna build something a little sportier. The fuel cell, I got mounts right here in a stainless steel can. It mounts behind the rear end, and it's not a deep one, but it should. In the rear bumper, I kind of, you know, if I ever did want to pull a little camper or something with it, I didn't want an old Reese hitch stuck out here. And this is 3/4 DOM, like I said, that I had left over. And so I built this. This will bolt up there, and then the tag will bolt to this plate. And then this is a 1/4 turn faster in like the dash did, and I got the receptacles mounted right there. So you can you can flip it up and put your hitch in. And of course I've also built the inserts for this, and they'll be painted a different color. They might go on with some kind of silver on this truck, just a flat silver or some kind of gray looking color. But like I said, it's just a low buck. I mean, I ain't spent a whole lot of money yet. I think the biggest thing I've spent is these used rims and tires, and maybe that aluminum radiator. The rest of it, you know, was just the donor truck. I went in halves with it. A guy wanted the bed off of it and the cab and a few parts, and so. But like I said, I got to get back on it. A friend of mine said, man, I got some cool old military lights. Well, they was green and they had a lot of corrosion on them. And I said, man, I'm gonna go ahead and clean these things up and make them match the headlights. I had to put LED bulbs in them and, you know, retrofit them, because they got to design what they're supposed to do. And y'all's ever been in a convoy at night, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I clean these things up and polish them. I don't really want nothing polished, but I do like the look of aluminum when it's just kind of almost polished. Going to mount them somewhere like that. Don't know yet.
Yeah, it's gonna look really good.
I think it'd be cool, you know. It's just a project, you know, and you get off of it and you start somebody else's project or work on somebody else's stuff. You know, it's just, we got to get back on it, and we're going to make some more videos of the build. Man, you know, I still got to, you know, crank the motor, start the motor and see how it's going to run. It's a 440. That's about it. It's just,
you want to show them that headlight that you did?
Oh yeah, the headlight, I'm retrofitting it. Believe it or not, the thing come with just a big spring, and you push the light in there, and it just clipped in, and that would be fine for a work stand. That's what it was built for, and it's just a massive aluminum housing, and I just love the way they look. And so what I done, I built basically an adapter, and got these two halo lights. I think they're 6-inch. I think they replaced some type of Harley Davidson. I'm not sure. I think it might be a Sportster that you can put this in, and they're not no high-end lights by no means. But I think I'm gonna use this halo. It'll blink orange or amber, and it's got these little guards. And I thought it kind of fit what I was doing, you know. And I sanded them down, but they was in pretty rough shape. But they're pretty neat thing, and you know, like I said, there's not no, I think $60 for both headlights, so that, you know, they may last a while, and they may get a little hot. I don't know yet. This thing's actually got a glass cover that goes right here with an O-ring, and you bolt it on there. And the front it don't have the light in it, but it's been painted, the shield on it. It's got the little globe over the front of it right now, but it don't have the light in it. So, but it's I'm thinking about probably some type of visor. Think about tying this roof in and leave it just above that roll bar and keep it like that. You know, just maybe a couple of inches, and let it taper down, and then incorporate some kind of visor in here. And of course, you know, I'm gonna have to put them dimple die holes across it, but something like that. And I kind of want to tie in some cab lights. I like cab lights and big mirrors.
Yeah. Those are the doors up there, aren't they?
Yeah, the doors, they was rotted out on the bottom. And you know, all you Willys people that know Willys, them 3 ribs up there at the door handle, it's supposed to have 3 at the bottom. And they was so bad and rusty. I said, you know what? I said, I'm just gonna put a flat piece of 20 gauge and weld it all in and tie it in. They turned out pretty good. They, like I said, it's a low-end build. Still a lot left to do on, you know, as far as, you know, got to build a roof. But, and then I got of course, when you move the motor and all back that far, I had to lengthen this drive shaft and shorten the rear one. So that had to be done. But this is a little bit better view of the body work. This is the door bars, and I'm gonna wait and weld them in once I get all the other stuff done. That'll be one of the last things I weld in, because they're crawling in and out. And I'm thinking about going with some modern Jeep door latches that I can take the doors off. And I even thought about building a set of half doors for it, just for, you know, summertime cruising. But yeah, that 2x3, like I said, it goes up here. It's tied into the frame. Got a place here for it. I trust it, you know, more than not having a cage, I guess you might say. But everybody says, well, it bolts on this, that, and the other. Well, yeah, your cab bolts on your truck too, you know. So, but like I said, it's just a project, and may put some like rhino liner where your feet go, a bed liner or something like that, right where your feet go, and the rest of them on paint. But yeah, I just got to get back on it, and we'll do some updated videos on it when we every time we do something to it, you know. We'll show y'all what we've done and the progress we've made. The bed, I have the end gate, I mean the front end of the bed built, and we may get to do a video when I start the tailgate. I'm gonna put a roll like this in the tailgate too. So we're gonna try to make a video on us rolling this right here, because a lot of people use tubing, and then you got to do that long weld, then you got to sand it, and this really worked out. It really surprised me how that worked out. It's just straight, and worked out real good. Just a project, you know. We got so many things we got going on, and I'm really ready to get back on it. I'm hoping we can ride it this spring, is what I'm hoping. That's about it. I don't know if I left out anything or not. But,
no, I think that covered it.
I
said I think that covered it pretty good.
All right. Well, all right, till see y'all again. That's what the Willys is about right now. That's what's going on there. Just a low end build. Nothing fancy. Y'all, thanks for watching this video, and if you want to, subscribe to our channel. It's just something me and my son-in-law, he's doing it, and he started it up, and I think it's, you know, we got a lot of little stuff people like to look at, and you know, these little things I'm gonna do, maybe it'll help somebody on some of their projects. But yeah, subscribe if you want to, and thanks for watching.